All right, Photoshop number 14 is about creating another wallpaper, but it's a different kind of wallpaper. This would be a wallpaper for like a phone or a mobile device. I'm going to show you a couple of things in this video. This is going to be a one-day thing, so you got to jump in, go to work, make what you're going to make, and put yourself into that window where you say, I'm going to get this done this hour and get it turned in. There is a help page here. The help page looks like this, and the requirement list is not long, again, but I want the size of this to fit a mobile device, and I'm going to show you, there's some advice down here in the step-by-step instructions, but I'm going to show you what that looks like in Photoshop here in just a minute. And again, it's the same as before. I'm just looking for a little thought and a little effort in what you do. Don't just slap something together that takes you 2 minutes to make. That's not what I'm asking for. And I would like to see some Photoshop knowledge at work once again on this. So let's get over here to Photoshop. I want to show you one that I already did. Let me move the little text panel out of the way here. So I used a Harry Potter idea. Expecto Patronum is a spell in Harry Potter, and Harry Potter's Patronus is a stag, and there's his glasses and all that kind of thing. There we go. Right? But notice that this is a vertical design. And what I mean by that, it's landscape, vertical, up and down. It's not horizontal like the last wallpaper that we did. It's also, it doesn't really look like it on the screen, but it's also a much smaller area. When you're designing for a phone screen, you're working in a much smaller area, and you have to kind of turn your design ideas to a vertical orientation. So that's what I want you to try out today. I am going to show you another, a kind of a new little trick that we haven't talked about before, but I want you to see it. So I'm just going to close this version of this, and let's go to work on the details about how you put this together. I'm going to start with a new file. You'll need to do that as well. Now here is the thing that you got to catch. I want you to go here on the top of the new document thing. I want you to go here to where it says mobile. Let me get my magnifier out of the way. Right here, I want you to go to where it says mobile. That's important today, all right? So I'm going to click on mobile, and then you'll see these different preset sizes for different, like here's an iPhone 10, an iPhone 8, and an iPhone 8. Well, this is an 8 Plus and an 8, and there's more. If you click View All Presets, there's more, but I'm just going to go with an iPhone 10. You can do the same, and I'm going to turn off the artboard like I always do, but that's not a big deal. And so I'm going iPhone 10, but you can pick something else. It's a mobile device, right? There's sizes for iPads, and like I said, if you click View All Presets, there's some more. So I'm going to click Create. So we're working with a space like that, right? Okay, well, so now I am going to, I'm just going to go to work on this. Let's say that I want to, I want to kind of paint my background. I'm thinking Gryffindor colors here, so I'm going to take my brush and make it a big brush, and I'm just going to paint my background kind of a Gryffindor maroon. I'm not sure I got the color perfectly, but you get the idea. All right. And then, it's like always, I just kind of start building and putting the things on there. I do have a thing coming up here I'm going to show you. So I was thinking Harry Potter. So one of the things I thought I would do is go out and search for some Harry Potter kinds of things. And I found on the internet, I found this, right? It's his glasses and his lightning bolt. Well, so the challenge here is I got to select those black glasses and the lightning bolt out of the white. So I think I'm going magic wand. And then also I'm going to have to shift click inside the lenses here. And then I'm going to do select inverse. You use whatever, this is where you use whatever Photoshop things you know. Time for me to copy that, bring it over, paste it, Control T, transform. And I just kind of arrange this in the way that I want. Right? Just kind of tinker with it here a little bit, get it the way I want, check mark, bingo. I got that part. All right, I'm going to add a type layer. I'm going to go ahead and add a type layer here. So I'm going to take my type tool. I'm going to click once. I'm going to type the word expecto. I'll hit the check mark here, and I'll do Control T to transform that. And I'm going to make it a little bit bigger. And you're looking at this and thinking, but wait, you can't see the text. And do you know why you can't see the text? You cannot see the text right now because it's the same color red as the background. It's red text on a red background. It's like a polar bear eating a marshmallow in a snowstorm. You can't see it, right? But here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to go to the FX button. Remember our layer styles. I'm going to go to the FX button here. I'm going to do an outer glow. I'm going to make that outer glow. I want it to be like a goldish color. You can already see where this is headed. I want it to be like a goldish color because Gryffindor's colors in the movie are like maroon and gold. So I'm going to say okay there. And now this doesn't look so bad, does it? That text doesn't look so bad because I put an outer glow around it. All right, I'm going to tighten that outer glow up just a little bit like that and click OK and move on. All right, now there's another word in that spell. I'm going to move my little text panel over. So I'm going to click in a new spot, and it's a patronum. Well, it's check mark. Control-T, transform. Make it a little bigger, get it all laying in there the way I want. Hit the check mark there. And I've got the same issue that I had before with the text. It's red text on a red background, but I'm going to come down here. You know what I'm going to do. I'm going to come down here and do the outer glow, and it's a gold outer glow, and I'm just going to keep it the same as I had the other one, and I'll click OK, and bingo. See, this is all coming together. You know what? I could put that outer glow on the glasses as well. Why not? Boom. All right. Now, here comes a new little trick that I'd like for you to know about. I'm going to go up here to the, let me get zoomed up here. I'm going to go up here to the window menu. Let me move that over. I'm going to go to the window menu, and I'm going to go to shapes. Window and shapes. All right. I want to show you this. You don't have to use it. Whenever I show something in a lesson, I'm not telling you that you have, well, sometimes I really do want you to use it, but in this case, I'm going to show you something that you don't have to use it if you don't want to, but you could, right? I think it's kind of cool. So I'm going to go to Window and go to Shapes right there. Just going to click it, and let me zoom back out. And when I did that, and I don't know exactly where it will appear on, when you do it, but I got this little window called Shapes, right? It keeps jumping around. And it's got these different like wild animals and trees and boats. And I want to show you this. If you go up here to this little hamburger button that's in the top corner, showing it to you right now, and you click Legacy Shapes and More. All right, this little hamburger's on the Shapes window. That was Window Shapes. And then here. And then here, and it adds another folder. And if you open that folder, I'm going to pull this down, and then there's folders inside that folder. And then if you open this, there's a whole bunch more stuff. Right? You could open any of these folders, and you'll see all of these shapes. There's a ton of stuff. And I'm not telling you that you have to use it, but there's a lot of fun stuff in here. And I'm going to show you how it works. So I'm going to actually go to, I believe wild animals is what I want, because right here, there's a couple that I could use. I'll just use this one right here. That's like a deer with antlers. And if you're a Harry Potter person, you know about the Patronus, and that's kind of what his Patronus was like. So this is a drag and drop thing. I just take this out and just drop it, boom. And you see what it looks like here. And it doesn't look great right now. And when you do this, when you take something out of the Shapes window and you drop it on, it makes what's called a shape layer. Over here on the layer panel, it makes what's called a shape layer. And it even says this is Deer 1, right? Because that's a deer, right? There's a pop-up right there. That's a deer. And so, boom, I've got a deer. All right. Well, I don't really want it to look like that. So I could do a number of things, and this is where once again the layer styles come in. Oh, I'm going to have to do like the check mark thing. It's like transforming. I can make that bigger or smaller. It automatically puts it on with transform handles, and so you have to get it where you want and all that and hit the check mark. But then I could come along here and say, let's give that like a color overlay. And I don't know, maybe I'll make it that, ooh, I'll take the eyedropper and make it the same gold. And then maybe let's give that, do I want to give it a stroke? Yeah, that's not terrible. Want to give it a bevel emboss? That's not terrible. Want to give it a drop shadow? That's not terrible. Right? Sound effects help. And look, I've made a phone wallpaper, and it wasn't even that hard. I started with a mobile layout. It's a vertical mobile layout, which I did on the new, when you're doing the new file thing, you go to mobile and pick the size you want. And then you just go to work kind of like you did before. The new thing that I showed here is this shapes. Remember, if you go to window and go to shapes, you'll somewhere on your screen, you'll get this window, which by the way, you can grab, you can put these windows anywhere you want them. And if you go here and go to legacy shapes and more, you'll get a whole bunch more of them down here. I mean, there's tons of things in there that you could use. 2019 shapes has a bunch. Oh, look, cactus, yay. So yeah. And then so when you get this done, it's just File, Save As. And save your work. And turn it in. And I want to see what kind of like phone background you can make. And it could, again, my rule is always it has to be school appropriate, but it could just be a cool design that you make. It could be themed in some way. This is another opportunity for you to get in there and design with Photoshop and be creative and express yourself a little bit. Make something that you like. That's what you ought to do in this class all the time. Make things you like. All right. That's it. End of video. Adios.